Hello, everybody. Welcome to our garden.
Thanks for joining us. We're on the Haven here, and we're going to show you a little bit about what's going on here. It's been a bit of a busy time, and the weather's been well, so
It's been really hot in the last week or two, and the whole spring into summer has been a very
dry as well.
dry and relatively warm. And as a result, there hadn't been so much damage from slugs like it was last year. But we'll go around and show you. So we drank our last cup of tea and on the terrace, and now we're going to go around and show you what else is growing. So over here we have peas, which will probably be easier to see when we go around. So let's go this way. So this is the peas today.
Yeah, they're actually very good
This year.
this year. They seem to like it, so they can be seen and looked after by us on this terrace. It seems that they much prefer to be visible by us. So
They want our attention. Yeah. And this year we have swapped
peppers,
the peppers to tomatoes for peppers. So here are two types of Bulgarian peppers. One type is there, which are these are round ones, and these are the normal round, the long juicy peppers. And then we decided we were going to grow lots of beans to dry the seeds of. And here we have two varieties, but as I was saying, we didn't have much slug damage this year, but actually we did on the beans. And since when was it? Midweek this week, we got some slug pellets to try and keep the beans growing. And if you see these inverted yogurt pots, they are protection for young seedlings who had suffered some damage. So they're there trying to recuperate. And then we had more beans coming on in that bed there. And these are the runner beans next to Chris's shoes.
yeah, trying to escape.
Yeah, I'm gonna have more beans down this end, and again the yogurt pots are for that same purpose, protection. What else here?
Got some what are they?
These are aubergines.
Aubergines, yeah, and then we've got some lettuces there.
Then behind them are some lettuces and a little row of radishes and
sweet potatoes under the
sweet
cloche.
potatoes under the cloche. Let's go have a better look at that. Oh, we had our first barbecue yesterday. This is not it. This is just brambles.
Actually, it wasn't the first. We had quite a few.
So there's the lettuces and the radishes in here. And underneath this cloche are sweet potatoes. We have a neighbor further down the allotment plot. She gave us slips this year. And here we have a netting, which some of you might remember from our other videos. This, we used to have peas on this side of the netting. Now we've put the cucumbers there, and let's see what happens. And we've got the peas on the other side of the netting. So these were today and yesterday's work.
What about up here?
Oh, should we go up there? Okay, up this path. By the way, this here, the whole of this plot was covered in this net. But now we only have a few brassicas left. Here, some purple sprouting. We kept the netting area to this particular part. It's just about a third of the whole plot. Here are the cucumbers and peas, and over on this side, the other third are courgettes and some parsley, which is just in seed form. It's not come out yet. Where should we go next?
We're going to polytunnel.
No, these are the strawberries and
beetroots.
some beetroot in the second half of that bed over there. This is cutting celery or celery for the leaves. And inside the polytunnel, we're gonna have peppers there
Some,
and some tomatoes, which were actually self-set tomatoes that we saw growing here and there. And today I just added the basil, little basil seedlings there in between.
onions under
And
there.
onions under there. And these are my swimming boards. They're actually we use them as kneelers. I can't do planting without having
And
them.
there's some more lettuces, next
Some
batch of
more
lettuces.
lettuces are coming along, and the whole of this table here was full of seedlings up until today. Now there are only 4 butternuts left here to go out, but they're still very small and very young. And there's 1 lettuce, and these strawberries are going to go out as well, and some flowers hopefully are going to come out here, lobelias. All of this was full of seedlings. See all these pots? Now it's all out.
And here
And
we got
behind the
some
polytunnel here on this
spinach.
bed is spinach, and this is some curious looking plant. That same neighbor who gave us the sweet potatoes gave us this, and apparently it's called tree spinach, which has been attacked by slugs as well. But we'll see. I don't know how we're gonna eat that. We need to try it. Right, flowers are blooming. The jasmine smells so nice in the evening when we sit on the terrace. Anyway, this is this blackberry bush that Chris has been cultivating. It's gonna have lots of blackberries on it.
We've already been here having plenty of the raspberries. That
This
was another.
raspberry that was self-set as well. Well, it was there.
And this
And
horseradish, this lovely horseradish, which gives a nice backdrop. You don't do anything with this horseradish except for harvest the roots if you want to, but it's just a lovely green leaf that provides a great bush here.
well, just to compare, this is also it, but it doesn't look as stunning because it's in the middle of all sorts of other weeds. Over here, it looks spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so here are some flowers,
Yeah, look at these
a
flowers.
variety of
Look at these lovely
flowers.
flowers. And beyond the flowers in this patch here is your summer savoury.
Yeah, this is the chubritsa, Bulgarian chubritsa. And then we have some lettuces at the back. We'll go on the terrace maybe after that. There's some more flowers here.
This is our perennial herbaceous
Border.
and it's done really well.
And we have a mullein.
Yeah, it's doing really well here.
This fern.
Yeah, and this
There's another bush here of horseradish.
and then here you've got this sage, which is coming on really well. We chopped it right back, and now it's.
I didn't think it's gonna grow.
Look how
It was so dead looking.
but it smells divine.
Right, this as well is a very interesting plant. It's called honeyberry, and it produces these. Not this isn't a leaf, but I don't think we have any left because the birds eat them, like them a lot. Oh, there is one, kind of small one. It's better than blueberries apparently. I only tried one and it tasted like, what did you say, Chris? Like wine.
Yeah, these 2 blueberry bushes here is kind of one of them here, the closest one to the
In the
blackberry
tire.
bush is getting a little bit inundated with the blackberry bush. And look, there's a story to this blackberry bush because it's actually attached to a very small the width of this fruit cage, and it's basically when I was digging this out, I was trying to get rid of the blackberry bush, which is down there, and it looked dead. It looked like I got rid of it and everything, and then it came back, and I thought, you know what? After all it's gone through, I'm gonna give it a chance.
Let's see if it
So I
survives.
left it, and the first year it was a little bit hit and miss. Second year it was no, in fact, I think it was the end of the first year, and it had kind of just shown signs of life. And the second year it grew a little bit, but I kept it clipped back. And this is the third year.
Well, this is what happens when you keep cutting it because it keeps pricking you. It actually works good on the plant because it starts
Look at
producing
all
lots of
this
fruit.
fruit. It's not a very big plant in reality, not compared to if you're over there.
This is
But
just one
but
one
it's
plant.
but it's producing a lot of blackberry, and we've had an absolutely bumper crop of raspberries already, and we've got loads to pick. And then when all those are done, and the gooseberries, these will be ready to go.
Yeah.
and
Talking about raspberries and blueberries, let's go there. Yeah,
and
this is the latest
planting out
of
some
today.
beans and
This is beans, and these are French beans, dwarf French beans, and some corn. So there's the blackberries, oh sorry, the raspberries and the blackcurrant, which today took us probably, I don't know, an hour and a half to pick all of the little berries. Like there's these currant, blackcurrant.
look, here's a
A raspberry.
raspberry. Mm.
And we ideally didn't have this net over. Well, not ideally to begin with. But a neighbor asked, how do you keep your raspberries from being eaten by the birds? And I said, well, we just trust that the birds don't have anywhere to perch, so they can't eat them. But then we saw some birds perching on other
Somebody else.
people's on other people's bushes, and we thought, okay, now maybe we need to do something about it. So we put this net over. I don't know how effective it is, but so far it's doing a good job.
Well, you can. I don't think it's a good place for birds to sit for the simple reason that where there's no net, there's never not any less raspberries than when there is a net. So it doesn't look as if the net's doing anything, but then maybe it didn't need to do anything.
We don't know. Well, it's just a protection.
Sort of.
So we're at least we're thinking we're doing something.
Yeah.
And so look at all this.
And
And
here.
this is after we'd actually picked them today. There's
Mm.
gonna be they're gonna be ready in a few days.
And this is the broad beans, and we've still got loads of broad beans. We're gonna have to. I haven't got much in the freezer, so no, we're gonna
Yeah.
pick these and get rid of the. Actually, ladybirds are on here are needed because we've got a lot of aphids.
We have aphids everywhere in the garden. We have aphids on these beans, and they are a little bit late, these ladybirds, but at least they are here.
And look at this.
But we have lots of aphids on the over there in the distance on those nasturtiums. We have some on the tomatoes, although they're not as bad.
Put
So,
this. Put this
oh, this
arch.
structure we haven't shown before.
This arch has been. It was designed to be fitted on this in 2 years ago. It doesn't. It's actually rocking a little bit because it's actually all attached to beams on the floor. It's not actually in the ground. But the idea behind this is to run up this jasmine like we've got on
On the trellis,
trellis,
on the
run it up
terrace.
across the up here, and to sort of make it a integral part of the garden. And we're already doing it with these daisy, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it's now getting difficult to go through here because of all these raspberries. There's another one. No, this one's not ready yet, but I started pulling it.
So
Okay.
you pulled it.
This
So
is
you're
supposed to make noise.
and this still. And there's the gooseberries in here that has some amazing. Look at the
Yeah,
size.
this was actually what triggered me to
Look at the gooseberries.
put a net because they were very
You
exposed.
can see the gooseberries here. Really
Yeah,
nice. Wow.
there's more gooseberries there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here we've got all our
Right,
tomatoes.
on the right hand side, tomatoes. So we have, this year we decided to keep them all outside. The first two rows
Blight
are
resistant. That's
crimson something or other, blight resistant, and the other ones are our own seeds from a blight resistant variety, which probably won't be blight resistant because it's a hybrid. And we took the seeds, but maybe it will. We'll see. Buffalo Sunset, it's called. What else have we got here? Strawberries at the
Well, we've
top.
got our Jerusalem artichokes here, which never fail. Nearly last year with the slugs, but this year didn't have much of a problem, and off they go, and they're going to reach 7 foot probably.
Oh, these ones, when they bloom, they have this orange flower. When you smell it, it smells of chocolate.
And this rosemary is doing amazing this year. This was just a few straggles last year. Now it's going crazy.
There's nasturtiums, and they have aphids.
Yeah.
Anyway, lettuces here, I don't like it particularly. Yeah, in between the tomatoes, I've dotted a few lettuces. Let's see how they develop there. And over here is one crown of asparagus. It's been attacked constantly by slugs. And we now know that there are slugs because we came and sat, well didn't sit, we stayed going around the allotment.
It's 11:15.
Dealing with them.
This is the, so we've got some potatoes in this side. There's actually some potatoes out of a bucket that I was just emptying out because they were rotten and everything. And anyway, they started growing, so they're going to get a few potatoes there. But corn in the middle, cucumbers at the edges.
Our cucumbers are very small still. Feverfew.
This has really done well.
It is so pretty.
And here next to this apple tree, which we got gifted, and it's actually doing really well this year. Last year there were really
didn't have many leaves last year.
No, and this year it's doing remarkably well.
But we did some nice pruning.
And the small but look nice. And this is like an overspill. Corn and a few flowers.
We'll see what they. Oh, they will be so interesting to see this after a few months when it's
cosmos grown. Down here underneath the vegetable, the fruit trees.
And there are a few plums on this, but
a few, isn't it? Being the operative word.
There. And then some pears.
Yeah, some nice pears.
And this one didn't have any fruit.
No, probably was overdue pruning.
We pruned it probably about a week ago. And let's see, it was just growing on leaves. But it has grown very well in thickness.
What did I say this was?
Green gauge.
Green gauge, that's right. Yeah, which is like a plum, but really nice. Yeah.
And comfrey in that bucket, and horseradish in there. Look, it doesn't really like it in the bucket.
No, it likes
it's tiny. Free. But apparently it's good to have horseradish underneath
trees.
Plum tree, so that's why it is in.
And here's a few other potatoes that are just left over from last year, so
that we didn't dig out.
We'll see how they go.
And the self-set alyssum in here from last year.
Yeah.
I didn't plant this, and this.
It's all gone over there as well.
And it's also on the other side of the path. And the hollyhock is going big. It's gonna be probably another meter, judging by how big it was last year.
It's all growing nicely and filling up really well. Once the tomatoes are filled out, and that daisy bush is going to be massive, and
we won't be able to see the structure behind it.
Yeah, so that's a bit of
an update.
Yeah, we've emptied the one of the
compost
bins. Yeah, we've emptied.
Oh, let's have a look. So we've emptied it, but we've started filling it up.
Yeah.
So it looks like this. It's full already.
No, it's plenty of space and it rods down a lot.
And this is the next one that we're going to be opening. So now it's just getting prepared. There's the spinach that we mentioned earlier. Oops. And I think it's already grown since yesterday. The echinaceas,
will be
which in the evening time I didn't know that, but
it
look how they bend
bends over,
down.
but in the daytime
During the
probably in a
day they
couple of
are
days
like that.
that'll be up and away.
And over here we have apple mint. The other mint had a very severe haircut because it was just growing too big and too much. And this is nicely decorative, tall kind of mint. So it also gets a trim sometimes, but not. It hasn't had one for a while. And there we have it. This is Melissa. Oh, it's grown to flower soon.
Just, we'll either have to pinch that out. That's it.
That's it. And oh, we didn't mention anything about this construction behind, above. This wasn't here last year. This was this year's building.
So the idea was this trellis was being blown by the wind. The predominant wind is this way, which catches this and blows it. So it was supported, but I needed another support mechanism. So basically, we nailed this or screwed this upright to this fence and buried it down a bit, and then attached it to the top with another piece of wood.
So it's now secure. It's not gonna fall down on the road.
Yeah.
And we had a little trimming element here. A hanging basket with some nasturtiums, but they're still. Oh, look, they're covered in aphids as well. We need ladybirds here.
Need a spray.
This was our walk around the allotment.
We'll do in a month's time. Show you how things have progressed.
How much the corn has grown, what's happened to the cucumbers, how the peppers, the tomatoes, and all the other things. And how the daisy is hiding in the arch.
You might do before that because it might be need to show it.
All right, bye. Thank you for watching.